by Bizzy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony. Bizzy, let's start it off by, anybody who saw some recent footage from Rock the Bells and seen you in interviews recently, there's a big physical change with you. You managed to get into much better shape. Just tell us about that, how that came about, and how much weight you lost and whatnot.
Well, it's been a process, and it's like 30 plus pounds, thus far. It's kind of like, getting the metabolism and at the right pace and at the right level, know when to eat, knowing when not to eat, knowing what to snack on when you need to snack, and so on and so forth, So it's just been that whole thing. It's just beautiful, getting back into shape, and it's everything you could think of, mentally, physically, spiritually. It's the same story as it always is when a brother trying to do better for himself,
Mm-hmm. Now, you mentioned mentally and spiritually. A big part of a change like that for anybody, there's a large mental aspect to it. How much have you changed mentally in that span? Because I know in the past, there was drinking and whatnot, and you've mentioned making life changes. So what's gone on mentally in terms of your life right now?
Well, mentally, the drinking has stopped. So along with the drinking, it's a lot less blacking out to the world and a lot more rationalizing with, the things that you miss when you at the club and drinking. I go to the club, I get a club soda, have a swisher in the back, at the back door with a couple of the security guards come back in, and I be already on mine, grab me a Red Bull or something. So thinking like that and thinking 17 shots of cognac and whatever is flowing around that evening or whatever, it's just a different mind state, It's like a different world, especially in hip-hop and those things. You conduct yourself a lot more reserved, open, but more reserved and hella less, intoxicated and shit like that, because that shit been played out, being all drunk and shit, in public and all like that. Do that shit at your crib, man. We out here grinding, loving music, enjoying life right now. Niggas ain't on no sad-ass shit. Niggas ain't in the hood no more all like that. Niggas is in the hood putting houses in that motherfucker nowadays. So the hip-hop community has fucking changed. Man, it's, So it just feel good to, see it for what it's grown to be in my short time here. So that's what's up with me, George,
Mm-hmm. Now, you talk about it, and it's the funny thing when I kind of scour the message boards and hear people talking about you. You haven't put out music in terms of, let people hear your actual music since the transformation, but everybody's treating it as, Bizzy Bone is back. He's back to it. You look like your old self. Seems like you got more energy. How close to true is that,
To be honest with you, we have so many great things in the works, and we have so many great things in the making. It's just the stumbling blocks of any artist out here that's well established. It's making sure that people hear the music that you have in the right setting and in the right context. It's like, you really want to be smart about it, but you don't want 6 months to go past and you can't put out the hot song that you want. You know what I mean? To just really, really put it out there. So we're more into firing off some of these singles now and this brand new energy and this go get it, and just send it to the station, man. Just send it out to the radio station. Of course, put some change behind it so, the peeps can, many people can hear it as they can. Drop your, your $25,000, $50,000 radio campaign just so people can hear the motherfucking music. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because that's where we at right now. It ain't really even, it ain't even about making money in record sales at this point. It's just really letting people hear the music. Like, if you like it, then this is how we want to put together a record, or this is how I want to put together the record. But yeah, I'm not trying to stop, and that's really what it is. Yes, the energy is back. The drink is in the gutter. You know what I mean? Because, when you get to a certain age, it's like, look, if I got a 5 or I got a 10-year plan, I can't really have them long nights with the bottle. Or I only have a 2-year plan or a 6-month plan. Or you know what I mean? So I'm working on the 5 to 10-year plan. So when we done and we finally say, you know what, I love music forever. Right now it's time for me to let the kids do what they do. And, 50, jigger age type shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When you get to be around Jay-Z age and you make your mint, you make your life, you enjoy your life, and you take the good with the bad and enjoy yourself, that's what I'm working up towards. So, I got my 15-year plan.
Mm-hmm.
Just had a birthday. You know what I mean? So, the 15-year plan is in effect. And I'm just happy, man. Just staying young, vitamined up, and healthy as I can, bro.
Now, one thing to help a fan understand, because the whole rock and roll lifestyle, and this doesn't just apply to hip-hop, but, you live that rock and roll lifestyle, and when you were doing it, you were making your best music back in the day, but then I guess it hits a certain point where it becomes negative. How do you get to a different place, be happy, not live that lifestyle, and still be able to put out that music that people want to hear?
Well, man, it's fortunately, man, when you grow up rough and you grow up strong, you build a resilience towards anything that has anything to do with poverty or going backwards and shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You never want to not be able to pay your bills. If you've been paying your bills since you were 16, 17 years old, when your career took off, it's been some rough years, after Easy died, rough years and so on and so forth. But when you come from that kind of an upbringing, and then before then, you selling dope in the streets at 15, 16, 7, you know what I mean? And, at 14, you got the paper route. When you're a hustler from Jump Street, you just have go get it in you. And then being a musician at the same time, it's not difficult to put out great music. It's whatever you into at the time you enjoy. Mm-hmm. You smoke weed, you rap about weed. You drink alcohol. You know what I mean? You sing about alcohol. You sing about the things that you do. You know what I mean? And so on and so forth. But I'm the kind of musician that has come to terms with simply, no matter what, a solid voice and a beautiful voice. And when you can definitely sing and carry a tune, you can stay in this business. If you're witty, if you have that savoir-faire, that je ne sais quoi, to cling on to the vibe of the moment and the energy of the moment, and you know how to introduce yourself, and you know how to kick it with the youngins, and you know how to kick it with the old school, the Furious Five, the Melly Mells, and they ain't all dead yet. So, you put all that into a pot, you get your wedge, and you stay in your lane. If you needed drugs to help you write hot shit, then you really ain't no artist.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You artistic, but you ain't no artist. An artist gonna get down in prison with bread and water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's just that's how tough I am on myself. Mm-hmm. Not everybody else. That ain't like my opinion for nobody else but me. Mm-hmm. So I just look at it, in those kind of ways. So for the artist that's trying to, hey, how do you do it and how do you do this? It's one thing to ride the wave, as far as the vibe of the moment, and then say, oh, I'm too old for that. And then it's one thing to be a innovator, you know what I mean, of your own lane, and still be able to ride a wave that you can drop a tear to, you can smile to, you can groove your head to, and so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. So, that's what it's all about, man, whether it's, conversating or whatever it is. When it's something beautiful and a pretty sound in the background, it's like a bird chirping. So to me, I'm more into that music and, keeping that Hot 16 lovely. Mm-hmm. I just did a song with Game, and I'm killing it. Mm-hmm. Oh, man, it's just, everything is lovely. I had a chance to meet Wiz Khalifa. Wonderful, wonderful young gentleman. Mm-hmm. Congratulations to him and his marriage with Amber Rose and their brand new seed. You know what I mean? So I just been really, just getting back out there saying hi to everybody. Got to say hello to Cube and shit. I'm riding a plane with Snoop. We on first class together. Just a beautiful motherfucking thing at this point. Mm-hmm. And then being healthy, you get to enjoy it more as opposed to being drunk. Mm-hmm. I'm high on the motherfucking plane. I had a toothache, so I had some pain medication, and I didn't order one glass of anything. We just went out there and did a show for like 30,000 people together. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's like an experience that I know has happened for me, but I never experienced it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was too goddamn obliterated out of my motherfucking mind. So it's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Terrific, man. You know, and speaking to that and how much you're enjoying it, and it was one thing that you were talking to me before before we did this interview, but anytime you get to a point like that, it seems everybody always wants to say something, and, you know, those rumors that media takeout had about you and you wanted to address. How much did that bother you? I mean, they said whatever. I watched an interview with you.
You know what? I'm going to be very, very honest with you. I can't comment on that, and I can't talk about that. I really can't comment on that and talk about that particular situation at this point. You know, but just on my behalf and on my defense, I like to tell my fans, you know what I mean, as far as the Bone Thugs and Harmony core fan base that believe in the music, you know, them Grateful Dead motherfuckers that just have been there for 10, 20 years. Some of them been there for 2, 3 years. Some of them been there for 5 years. You know what I mean? That core BT&H web board, the real motherfuckers. I want to let them know everything that I'm doing is not just for me. It's so I can keep putting out great music. They can keep enjoying music, and their children can see a young, vibrant, healthy Bizzy Bone that they used to see. And that's what I'm doing it for as well, if that makes any sense to any of my motherfuckers out there.
Oh, it makes perfect sense. Now, you referenced earlier seeing Wiz Khalifa and Ice Cube, and that was at Rock the Bells. How good did that feel? I mean, Bone has dealt with a lot the last few years. On a positive note, to come together, be recognized, and be on a stage like that in New Jersey and in California, how did that feel, that whole experience?
Well, I'm going to tell you, it really started with a show and a festival when I was really, like, right about there, but I didn't put the bottle down. It started with a festival with DJ Quick, and I was watching Tyler, the Creator, and he was jamming to the Dipset show, and I did a set with Quick and did a guest appearance. 30,000 people there, and it's right there when I seen the energy of that young brother, and I seen that young brother, his excitement towards the love of hip hop. Man, it made me say, that's what I love it for. And from that point on, I started on a serious musical mission. So, you know, from that point on, I moved on up to the Rock the Bells thing. For some reason, the performance with DJ Quick brought a great idea, because they said, well, if they're going to go crazy over this man's verse with Biggie Smalls, then imagine if all 5 members were there and they just did the whole record. Here we go. Flash forward. San Jose. We did San Bernardino, San Jose, and New Jersey. And X-Man was there. Who else? X-Man was there. Who else? Nas, Red, Meth, Supernatural. Man, it was just so many people up there. So the experience to place the story to the side was wonderful, man. Man, I mean, I can't complain, man. All of us there, everybody standing strong, all 5 Bone members, getting back into the vibe of things. We did another show with Snoop Dogg and Ice Cube in Arizona, you know, to add to it. So it was about 6 or 7, I'd say about 5, honest to goodness, 5 real major shows, like, you know, like 10,000 seaters, 20,000, 30,000. So it's just, I mean, beautiful. I mean, totally beautiful, man. Back into the swing of things, and man, it's just a really good feeling right now. You know what I mean? Watching the kids do their thing, you know what I mean? And, you know, everybody eating. But it's not even really a money thing at this point, man. It's the whole thing, man. You know what I mean? The entire thing, the experience. But mostly, I want to give the kids and the younger generation a shot to see the Bizzy Bone that they parents have seen. for, you know, whoever's seen it.
Mm-hmm. No, it makes sense.
So that to me is very important.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? In a career.